Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of Warcraft Shadowlands. This is Workbringer, and today we are getting prepared for a Spires of Ascension plus 11. Getting my buffs on, dropping the feast. I decided to go with primary stat instead of haste. Worked out okay. This is the special route. It is fortified, trash is boss. You'll see that we are skipping the first two, pulling the third, and then doing 2 LOS pulls. And what this is going to do is give us Prideful at an optimal time, and watch how tough an 11 fortified third angel is. The whole route is designed around that last angel. The last boss, nothing. Nothing. As long as the person who does the arrow knows what they're doing, and I'm the person that does the arrow. Now a lost threat there. This warrior low-key carried this run for me, okay? And that's what it comes down to. Like, I think in the beginning, I mean, for DPS, gear is actually like a big deal, because gear is numbers, right? For tanking, though, it's really about knowledge and tactics and putting together the group, if you're putting together a group, or looking at the group and being like, this is what this group can do, this is what this group maybe cannot do, right? It's more about that and knowledge. Now, this was too much. This was too much, but we got some pumpers, so I wanted people let people pump, right? But I'm not exactly having the aggro I wanted. I did Divine Shield to keep myself at 100 while everyone else is kind of dying around me. Maybe a bit too much, but we wanna keep the pace. And this is Cleavy here, right? And it is Spiteful, and oh, the warrior. Sorry, bro. Should have bopped you. Should have bopped one of the melees. It's my bad. But we had this talk in the beginning about Spitefuls. It's like, I told them, I was like, in this particular dungeon, you can't flight path away if the Spitefuls are there. But in general, we have a druid, so they can just, say we kill them all together. Like 4 Spitefuls pop up, you mass entangle and walk away. Don't touch them, right? Like right now, boom, entangling roots, out, leave. And that's what the warrior is actually saying in that right now. Is like, he's like, leave these alone, right? We're losing time. So, not my cleanest beginning, and this is definitely not the cleanest run in the world, but we time it, you know, and I think that's valuable. So I'm losing threat big time, right? This warrior is pulling huge deeps. I believe this warrior, I checked him out after, because he has a couple tips for me, and I learned a lot from this warrior on this run. Maybe he does prot too, I don't know, but I looked him up after. He's done like 13s and 14s, and is like 209 or something like that. Has 223 weapons, I think is Fury, and just ripping the threat away from me. And also super high knowledge of the dungeon and doing some next level strats that you'll see pretty soon that I'd never seen before. And he's trying to explain them to me and I'm like bewildered. So, well, there's stuff I need to learn. Not the cleanest threat pulls, right? We do have to kill these. We cannot leave. I tried to leave it. You can't leave. So we got to kill these. But there's, I don't know if you call it an exploit. There's a couple real exploits out there still. I don't do them. But I don't know if we consider this next one an exploit or not. But however, it's something that is very nice if a DPS can pull it off and not me slow footing around, because I'm a slow boy. Very slow. Okay, we're running into this next part. This is not dangerous, really. I forget if I call for CC. But we have a bit of a chat. So I did this earlier. I pushed my own key, which was an 8 Spires, and now it's a 9 Plagueful. We pushed it, and when I do this one with mages, I just CC the F out of this place. And the warrior wants to do something, and he's saying it, but like I don't know what that is, and I don't think anyone else knows either. So we sap someone, we root someone, and I'm going for the single hammer of justice pull. Bow, come here. So on Fortified, these all hit like extra hard and bad. However, this is a little chaosy. It got done. We grouped them up. That was really the issue. I've gone a little bit offensive here, and I'm pulling him away. Okay, here comes the Force One Warrior or Vanguard. It's a little weird. I've done this before. The last time I did this, like right before it, right? I was testing. What I do now is I basically test prideful routes in 9s and 8s and 7s and just kind of, test out the route. Just tell the group, I was like, we're going to do some backtracking, but I'm doing a +10 route if you wonder why things are kind of odd. So yeah, not great. This is an awkward pride timing. There's really no way to get around it. This is how pride comes here. There's no fancy business here. And what I'm just trying to do, we had this conversation too, is like I'm just trying to, sorry warrior, I'm just trying to kite the prideful kind of away from the spitefuls that are kind of popping up. And we just have to kind of cleave these down a bit. I can see why you wouldn't CC now for a prideful route, because you kind of want to kill everything together. So lesson learned, lesson learned. We do keep it together. And I've learned on wipey pulls that I immediately Divine Shield, which keeps my health rock solid for 8 seconds, and I start off healing. And then the druid can look and be like, okay, tank's good, and he'll help other people out. Do I die? No, I hands. Okay, yeah. So it's fortified, you know, okay, so the warrior has reset the boss, and I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Right? And we have prideful, right? And it's like, what the hell is this? And so the warrior is telling me all this stuff in chat, and I'm like, what? He said to stand over here, and I was like, what? And he's like jumping around. He told me to stand in the middle, and I'm like, dude, I just don't know what you're saying. Like, I don't get it. But what's going to happen is the boss... That's WoW speak for stand here. Just shake back and forth. It's WoW speak for come over here. You just walk back and forth real quick. Anyway, I'm like, probably shouldn't face her towards the raid. And yeah, I guess I'm eating these serpent stings. But I think what's happening is that the bird isn't shooting arrows and she isn't overhead slashing. So this is OP. There's no damage going out right now except for like auto attacks, like auto shoot and like auto. So we just got him to, and we had pride for a bit of it. We just got him to like 35%, and they haven't even attacked us yet. So that's big brain. Now to arrange that with a pug, that's tricky. That's a tricky thing, especially if we have any overeagers pulling. But yeah, so it seems like you pull the boss. Pull them out of the garden to reset them, and then you stand right on them, and they'll never cast. Now, I feel like that's going to get fixed, but, you know, I'll go for it. Next time I go for like a 12 or 13, I'm like, okay, that's big brain right there. Now I'm about to die. That overhead slash got me real good. But, yeah. Now, there's actually, I typed it. I was like, I'm getting I have like the GTFO add-on that goes like, burn, like when you're standing in something bad. And that entire walk, it was like, bang, bang. And I'm like, I asked, I was like, why am I dying? Like, I've run this place a lot. I don't normally die like that. I was like, what am I dying? And the warrior said that the bird has some dot on. I was like, am I not supposed to be close to the bird? Like, there's something new about plus 10 and 11 I'm just not used to. I just tell him we're going to kill lions. And I used to freak out when they stealthed on me. I mean, it's best if there is something like a hunter. I'll call out the flare, or someone who has an uncapped AoE can just like throw them in. There's just like the spiders. Like Shadowlands really has like all the mechanics you can have. Like it's pretty cool. There's a lot of utility DPS can do, especially if the tank's like telling them to do it. It's like let's like drop a flame strike here untargeted, right? Just like boom, drop it there, get him out of stealth. I don't go immediately for the double pull. There's more lions we need because of these spitefuls, and I'm like, I don't want to like legit kill everyone. But there we go. We got him out clean. I don't think anyone got stunned. Did I get stunned? Maybe I did get stunned, but we got most of them out. And, you know, it's pretty much a kite dance here. We just kite. And this is fortified. So these lions, you see like the rake dot I have on me 3. That's an ouch. I don't think I forget if that's a damage amp like it is on the bears or if it's just a bleed. But you can see my health bar fighting for its life. But, you know, I've got life, bloom, and rejuve, and Cenarian on me and whatnot probably. And it's just kite the world, kite it. And now that it's just spitefuls, you can just low-key run over here, and as long as they're like kind of slow and they're not going to get to you, like stop fighting the spitefuls. The warrior's like, what are you doing? Like leave the spiteful alone. It's just going to despawn. And I'm just writing real quick because this is not a dangerous mob by any means, though they apparently they nerfed the Dark Praetor. I forget how. But I just told them, don't take the flight path. I was like, don't take this flight path. We're going back. And I'm just trying to pull this dude. He actually helped me out. I'm trying to pull him back this way because we're going to go over here. Forget the shade. Just leave it alone. Don't fight it. Don't even touch it. it'll die before it gets over here, right? So these are little gains that we get. You can LOS this, though it's just as dicey as this goes, and this goes sideways. I should future me never move. No, oh, fail, super fail. Okay, so they always jump away from the tank, and you know, I step forward, just stay there. My entire job is to stay there and maybe hodge the one I'm chilling with. And now we're spread cleave. However, we've got Big Deeps, Rogue, and Warrior, both like basically single target 4-point K. You know, because they're not together, doing the big damage. However, these spears chunk. It's like boom, boom, like 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, and it just keeps happening. It's random, so it's a good place to have a resto druid because you know the hots don't really mind. Like you know, pretty good job at spread cleave versus like a shaman. It's like you know we're better in tighter quarters. Yeah. Another worst case scenario is that they jumped over there. However, they're dead. If they jumped into that next pack, this would have been kind of an issue. So the rogue distracts and then saps. That's what I've realized about rogues because I'm about to take that one, but I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice that. So what's becoming my job now as tank and mythic leader, typically, even if I pug into a group, people just give me the lead because I start talking strats and it's like 8 a crescendo. That's good. Is that like I was saying earlier, I don't run with rogues. Well, now that I do prideful routes, I want a rogue in almost every comp. And this rogue was actually saying it's very hard for him to get groups. So this is his key, this 11. And I was like, oh, all my routes now are starting to have rogue skips in them, or at least know where to optimize them. And I forgot about pride. Whoops. But that's quite nice to actually have that other mob CC'd for the beginning of Pride. I think he does come out. So if we had like a shaman or something like that, I think you could continue to hex it. But, you know, one javeliner is not so bad. I do think about going over there and getting him. Yeah, so he's sitting over there, but I'm like, but what's more risky is eating one of those arrows. Or me getting the you know the arrows and like hitting someone else. I was like, we'll take a little javelin damage. This resto, I didn't check out the resto gear. This must be a pretty geared resto. Like this group is like I think 205 plus. That's kind of how you have to roll, in my opinion. Especially DPS. Tanks could maybe be a little bit lower. It's more about IO. DPS though, you have to be 205 to come into the 10s and 11s or the 11s. I think you know 10 you can kind of pull it off. Right, the first scaling for Prideful is not all that severe. I think they kind of keep it chill on the damage scaling and health pool. For 10, 10's like, hey, here's a new affix, but we're not going to like give it to you. 11 and 12, it starts to be like, here's the affix, and we're going to give it to you. So the DPS just needs to burn things down super hard. In my opinion, that would make sense to me as well. I'm getting 2 dots. Okay, good, lock stun. I need to learn the name of that so I can call it. But if you see to the right, I was saying before, my job now, I'm geared enough to even go to 15s, I think. I mean, I'll take more health. I saw a demon hunter who was 214 and had 64,000 health. So, you know, we should aim to get there, especially for tyrannical like rip. Fortified is the push. But my job now is to know the routes, the prideful routes, though those become secondhand knowledge or whatever, like muscle memory. Like I kind of know them. The ones I know. Like this place, I know it. And halls, I know it. And mists, I'm about to go do mists. I know that one because it's kind of random. It's kind of forgiving. Only 3 bosses too, like not a big deal. And they're all those 3 are all helped quite a bit by a rogue. So if I'm putting together a group, for my meta is I'm going to put it in there. I was like, I need a rogue. I need a rogue for rogue skips. It's a +10, and we'll just sit here and wait until like a 205 rogue shows up. And yeah, the routes are so much faster and smoother. Now, no voice comms, calling shrouds and saps, you know, it's a thing. I did have a rogue and an 11 mist screw up the skip. So I can kind of tell them now, because I've watched this rogue, is you have to distract the pack away. You're stealthed, you distract them away, and so I guess you have to be behind them to sap them. That's what I noticed. Whereas I did this with a rogue last time, and they weren't like really sure on how to do that pack, and they sapped it, or something happened, and they just pulled the whole thing. I think I'm gonna go get the arrow. Yeah. We just need to run away from the spiteful. However, oh, look at this warrior. Look at this. Look at him. Look at him. He got the tigers. He got the kitties. And then heroic leaped away. What a boss. This dude, this warrior. I've talked smack about warriors. I take it back. This warrior, like, warrior, if you know what you're doing, like that means that you could do that for me on the third boss at Plagueful. Heroic leaping around. You know, untargeted spinning the spin. Like, this is it. This is it. This warrior is carrying this. And that first strat, my goodness. We really got to use Prideful, and we burned that boss down to, what was it, 30 or 50? It was a lot. We do have to kill all those. So this warrior is the carry. And it's the rogue's key, so, you know. Oh, actually, no, we do a big skip here, which is like big brain. You can do the skip without it, but it's slicker with it. Again, the warrior pulling him out of stealth for me. Rather him take it. Now, we just Divine Shield right now. Let's just call it what it is. Even if all the stuns come, you see that when the health goes to 50 in one global, you Divine Shield. And there's always 1 pack or 2 packs like that in every dungeon. You Divine Shield, you immune all the upfront because everything's still alive. You immune immediately. So this is an unfortunate time for Prideful to come, but it's the time that they come. It looks worse than it is because there's all these Spitefuls, and I'm just trying to live. There it is. Word of glory myself. And I'm just trying to kite away from the Spitefuls so that we don't die. Because, yeah, basically, they don't target the tank, I guess. I almost never get targeted by a Spiteful, or I don't know what's up. It says you can aggro them, but then nothing happens. Anyway, we just got to get away, right? If you got a Spiteful and you cut yourself away, watch the little arrows. And I just take Prideful somewhere safe. I say Prideful, it's pride. It's pride, manifestation of pride. Maybe the affix is called Prideful, I don't know. Anyway, we've got pride. We've got pride buff, right? We don't want to waste the pride buff, but if you watched any of my other Spires runs, it's wipe if you pull both. I don't care if we have pride buff. I don't care if we have all my cooldowns and the healer cooldowns. I do not pull those together. It's not going to work out. There's too much dot damage from these, plus the overhead, plus the other group heals really like a lot. There's a must kick for this Goliath. Let's use pride to burn down this pack confidently. No deaths, right? That's the value, in my opinion. So it's an awkward pride use, but you gotta take it. You gotta do the pride where it comes, and this is the route so far. There is something to be said about going the other way. I hate the other way with a vengeance. I will never go the other way. So I'm kind of like, I think people kind of get it. It's like, that Spiteful, he's not gonna hurt anybody. He's good. Losing threat, probably to the warrior, because that dude is popping off. The actual danger here is the healing. I think it's the Forsworn Champion, and there's some add-on that will not allow me to change my targets here, sadly. But if I keep meaning to say this, but like, you know, knowing the packs and which ones you can CC on Fortified, where the trash is like Omega hard, is very helpful and can just simplify some pulls. However, you do have to be mindful of Prideful popping up in the middle of them, so you kind of don't want to CC stuff in that point. You want to kill everything evenly. These ones, it's like for time we could just kill them, or we could just run away. Either one, have a chill. But if you see my right bar, control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are my new macro targets, and they're not perfect. I'm still learning what ad you can do, like what ad can get CC'd when. And I think I ask for a CC here and it goes wrong or something. I forget. Or maybe I'm just like, F it, let's just go get him. I think I said F it, yeah. Because I did this in an 8 and the CC went terrible and I just dropped the spear on him instead. Bow, like this. So it's fine. I'm going to have massive threat when I get out of this, and I'm going to have Divine Shield back. And let me tell you what a Divine Shield moment is when these all come out like this. It's like, oh no, I'm going to die. Oh, where's the Divine Shield? Divine Shield, do it. Oh no, I didn't. I still didn't do it. Oh man, I held it. This is where you just Divine Shield phase tank this. This is Prot Paladin, right? Venge, you can Fiery Brand and you can kite. Well, Prot Paladin can Divine Shield and just tank all of it for 8 seconds. It doesn't matter if it was like all 5 of the bosses spawned in once it started attacking me. I'm good for 8 seconds and then I'll die. But it allows you to phase tank some pretty tough ones, which allows me to then off-heal has kind of been my strat lately. Is first get aggro on spite on the pride, damn. Is to like in these dicey situations, like say two people are half health, aggro's questionable, which is because I'm tanking. You divine shield taunt everyone. You reestablish aggro. I cannot die for 8 seconds, and I start healing. And I don't know. That's something that happens on these dicey pulls, especially with pride popping off these big AOE bursts, like bow, bow. It gets worse and worse. Sometimes you need that. So unfortunate, we have pride right now. We got to kill this thing real quick, which is probably gonna also spawn a spite dude. But we just run away from that dude, right? Run away. We got to use this pride right here. So we lost 10 seconds of uptime, but we're gonna use it. We're using it. Because this is, even on Fortified, like not Tyrannical, this is a dangerous boss. None of his direct mechanics do any damage at all. I don't even know if I need to actually have mitigation up. However, getting hit by those arrows, I think 3, it's pretty much over. And I think for Cloth, it might be 2. You get hit by 2 of those arrows right in a row, I think you're dead. You know, unless you have like Turtle or some sort of like, you know, Dark or whatever. See, like, look at the Rogue, look at the Druid. Those are probably 1 hits each, I would guess. So the longer this fight goes on, the more arrows there are. And should we make it to recharge phase 2, which we should never, if you have pride, should never hit recharge phase 2. It's chaos, and I've pulled it off before, but on such, you know, on the higher keys, I don't know. It's pretty wipe. It's like, I mean, either that or people are like, you know, S rank dodgers of all the arrows, because when they recharge, all the arrow spawns just start going in all directions. Like right now, it's pretty manageable. I missed the jump here, so what you can do is a jump, click, and you can get it right there, which does save a little time. Saves a little bit of time. Instead, I'm the last person. Anyway, run going pretty well, and this is that money right there. And I linked this to them, and I'm like, what we're trying to do is get Prideful on the second Angel, that's not the strat for Tyrannical. That's the strat for Fortified, so it's slightly different. However, I have the ability to tweak if I want it on the second or third Angel based on 1 pack variation right at the end. So very simple. If you want to use the Warlock skip, which they talked about doing, I said not to. I was like, don't though. It's cool to do it, but don't. You'll mess up my count. And they were like, that's cool. We'll use your route. So thank goodness. I didn't. If that turned into like an actual fight in the beginning, they're like, no, we're gonna do it. I was like, well, no, we're not gonna get pride at the right time. So that's just NG. Anyway, what you can do is you can skip that first one by jumping over the lantern, and then you can go behind the pillar and skip those ones, or you rogue skip it. Boom, boom. So they wanted to skip this, and that's typically what the Warlock one is for, but they didn't remember, but it's my route. I'm like, I need these for count to be able to do the special pull I'm going to do right after this that is allow us to get Prideful at the right time upstairs. And it's I honestly do not think it's livable if you don't get Prideful on the second Angel, unless, I mean, this Druid's pumping heals. Maybe everyone pops defensives at the end when the stacks are like 15 or something like that and higher. And you like Spirit Link, whatever, Totem. Like, you gotta pop all the AoE. The AoE is crazy damage. You'll see it. I can't believe we lived it. So we're waiting for the Spiteful to die. That's why I'm in combat still. And I tell people, just follow me. Don't cast anything. Don't heal me. Don't do anything, because there's heal aggro. Like, see if they do it. Like, don't drop a renew on me. If they renewed me right now, that healer would take aggro and this would be ruined. And this would be, I don't know if it's a wipe, but it'd be messy. That warrior is dying a little bit, so I bop him, right? So he can have, that warrior now is not able to get threat and is protected significantly from physical damage. I don't know if these spears are physical or not, but yeah. So a lot of Spitefuls altogether. That's just get away. Like, drop the Entangling Roots and get away. And yeah, so these are dying, and I write one more, and it takes a little while. I think they're dealing with a spiteful, like a spite dude, one of the shades. And I tell him, I was like, please come over here. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? Did they heal? Oh, did someone die? Oh, someone died. My bad. Okay, I didn't notice that. So someone died. And I was like, why are you over there? And, you know, very nicely, nicely, I guess is the word. Please don't pull the boss. Oh my God. I'm like, please come over here. I see someone died and we got health stones back and a little bit of a breather. That's cool. So if you just go up after killing the boss and you don't do this pack, given this route, you will get Prideful on the third angel, which is how you approach Tyrannical to burn her into the first phase. However, for this one, the real boss is the third angel. And so by pushing this over like 2% here or something like that, barely any count, it's very precise. We now will get, we have 91%, maybe it's 91.4 or something like that too, but we will now get 100% count on the second angel, and it's that fragile, right? Like anything else, and this is already a hot mess broken. Like getting Prideful on the first angel would be a nightmare. It would be a disaster. So when you're in an organized group that does this together a lot, literally everyone should be stacked. It's kind of like the third boss in Plague, the spider. Like literally everyone on me. Right? Now we go, and then there's only one puddle. Right? But we have more or less everyone stacked and one kind of far away. One person didn't get the memo. It's okay. I pugged this one a lot. I know how to handle this. We're going to do the same thing again, and I typed to them before. I was like, I'm going to the right. Just so we know. So you don't like, you know, not well, whatever. Start going to the left. That's not the way I go. Again, everyone could be stacked, and there would only be like a little bit of pools. Not so bad. That's pretty good. Okay, Rogue almost died. Rip. That might have been the key, actually. Oh, we have a battle res. But anyway, so we're going to start pulling him away. Did we lust on this? I don't think we did. Lust looks like it's still 3 minutes ago, something like that. And he's not a dangerous boss by any means. He just has a big health pool, so you're just like watching your time go down. So I think he takes extra damage here. But the real deal is I tell him, I was like, you know, I hope we have a soak strat. So healer goes into bear form. Warrior's probably popping some sort of like defensive. Again, the bear eating the balls. And I don't know what's up with this last one. What is this? Why does this last one make it back to him? What? Did it make it or did the warrior get it? I think maybe the warrior got it. But sketch me out. I was like, it went so well, but I'm looking at this ball coming at me. But everyone gets the general mechanic. And if everyone doesn't do like a super stack that's like perfect, then you just pull them really far away. That's it. And so now I'm pretty sure we're going to phase him right here. We'll just kill him. And I just try to pull him right to the angels. That's my only optimization at this point. We're going to kill him. Goodbye. Right next to the angels, not a big run, anything like that, right? No big deal. So this has been a theory because I hadn't done an 11 or a 10. This is my first time with Spires. I was like, I'm fairly sure I remember from week 1 that this last angel will rip you in half. And any healer who does not regard this fight in that way hasn't done it yet. The warrior is kind of like, oh, we're fine. We don't need to lust. And I was like, no, we do. I was like, you've been carrying a lot of these mechanics, but we do. And man, do we watch. So we're going to get into it. I told the healer to drink. I think he's getting up now, right? I think he's drinking. Yeah. Right. Some people overeager. Let's get into it. Oh no, the gauntlet. Ready? So it's actually after we kill this one and start the next angel that the real gauntlet begins. And we'll see it. And we'll see it here. I'll commentate it. But this angel does nothing, so to speak. Now that being said, you get smacked by the spear. It's half your health, right? There's all. See, look at the warrior. Probably got smacked. Maybe I got smacked. I'm half. Warrior's half, right? And there's a spear on the ground shooting out some bad stuff at certain angles. Just gotta kind of watch that. Hence my positioning here. There's no storming, which is great, but there is spiteful. But yeah, that arrow goes out and it's like boom, chunk of health. But it's just like one person. Like this is not raid damage yet, right? Oh, but it will be. So that was the warlock getting hit. There's some spears over there we got to be careful about. But like, you know, as long as everyone doesn't do anything like really bad, right? I can out heal this, right? Now the gauntlet begins. Now the gauntlet begins. I'm giving you a little bit of time here. I think the warrior pulled that. Bro. No. Like, I get the time. I get it. But that druid, I honestly would have let them drink to full. Because you know what comes up right after this dude dies? Prideful. And a spite. Prideful and a spite. So it's a little dicey. And we're getting the oppression stacks are popping up right there. 7, 8, 9. Right? It's bad. Those are not good. But they're livable. I tell people, like, do not bust any cooldowns. No offensive cooldowns. No defensives for this. Just live it normal. If possible. Because we have Pride after. And then we have the boss that's going to have both oppression and intimidation stack. So it's going to be doubly worse. So like we got to just normal live this. Like look at my cooldown. Look at my cooldown row right there. I have all my cooldowns, right? Guardians, Ancient Kings, we got Ardent Defender, we got Offensive, and I have Divine Immunity, like cannot die. So we're healing up here. And the Pride's over there. Rip. I run through some pools just to pull up on them. And we got this Shade running around. You cannot, you know, I probably should have CC'd that one a little bit. But things are a little dicey. I needed to get right over there, pick up aggro. It does take a while for the manifestation to like actually be targetable, which I hate. And then sometimes someone will just rip it before I even get it. But it's salvageable, right? But low health, sketch, right? This is why I want the druid to drink before the second one, and I'm pretty sure the warrior pulled it. Like you didn't save me any, you didn't do anyone any favors by doing that, like at all. So now it's like, oh, we're all super low health. Let's go get the angel. Like is sketch, And honestly, if we had taken a little bit of a drink, I think between the second one, this is where you don't want to lose uptime, is with Pride up. It's not in between. Like that's not very much time. So, check it out. Everyone's at full. My defenses have already been popped. 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8. These are big damage. Plus the spears, plus big dam. But we're getting it down. But like without Prideful, this is hard. Let me tell you. What did we get up to? 12. That's not bad. We burned it. Just know that as that gets to 15, it starts to become unhealable. It's just pretty rough. So we're getting into it now, and like honestly, it's like whatever. We got that spite running around. I think we're okay. Do I hodge it? I should have hodged it for them, but I think they know the kite. We're safe. No more spitefuls. No more prides. No more ghosts. No more those thick ghosts running around. The rest of this fight is nothing. I just remind people, stay near the bubble. Get in the bubble. Some people forget. Right? It's busy time. We just killed Pride. I don't know how your mind's thinking right now. The only thing people die to here is not getting in the bubble. Like you try to be like real far away or whatever, like, you know, because that always seems safe as ranged. Tank it near the bubble. Everyone near the bubble. Everyone in the bubble. That's it. That's the only way I've lost people on this. And with this fight, with like 4-man, we'd probably be okay, but why push that? Why even? And obviously not, but you know, stay near the bubble. Now, if you get the lost confidence circle, don't go in the bubble, because then you leave a black pool of death in the bubble. Not good, right? I'm still waiting for mine to wear off. I don't know if it goes away. There it goes. No, I still have it. There it is. Now I just popped the black circle. At least it's not in the center of the room. Anyway, I tell people I'm taking spear just to get rid of the ambiguity, because I'm pretty cool under pressure with this one. Okay, so. This angel, why do they do this? Is this on purpose that they make it so hard to see the boss? You know, like what the hell? Like why is that huge angel there when you're chewing the spear? That just seems like, is that part of the mechanic? Is that like there's stuff in the camera? That just seems dumb. It's consistently like that too. Like why? I think that should be changed. I mean I can get by, but it's kind of just like. That's the mechanic, is hit the angel, but also there's like something in the way of your vision. That just seems bad. But anyway, we're gonna do the phase again. I think I type it. I'm like, get near the bubble. Don't chase after. No. Who's running after? I mean, you can get your uptime, but just let her come back, because you want to get in that bubble. right? You don't know when that's going to tick over. So maybe range pops some huge deeps and you're running out. Like, I don't know. I guess you were getting uptime. I'm not chasing after her, though, because if she pops the Archon when you're far away from it and you don't have a mobility to get back or something like that, like you burn mobility trying to stay up on her, you can die. And if nobody dies, it's GG. You know, I don't think we're not hurting for like that 5 seconds of uptime you're losing. However, we'll be like 20 seconds at least, right? Like, so why did they put this stuff in the foreground, right? Like, why am I shooting this through someone's legs? Sucks. Anyway, we 2 for 2 this. I haven't missed an arrow since I was doing this, learned how to do it in heroic. I don't miss. He don't miss. And that's tank life. You know, I'll take the responsibility I can, let the healer do what they're doing, and DPS do what they're doing. This is a mechanic I think tank should take. Though I can off heal, so there is a thought that like maybe the warlock or the rogue takes it, and I just sit there off healing because I can just word of glory people, right? Hammer, 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 word of glory, and we're looking at 2%, and I think I pop immunity. Yeah, just in case. Why not? Extra safe. Say GG to everyone. That's my first 11 ever, so very happy. I finished Halls of Atonement 11 on. Oh, someone got a weapon, but I don't think he needs it actually. He's got like stacked weapons. I finished at 11, but we were a minute and a half over, so wah, wah. This is my first timed 11. And I'm on a roll. And my routes are working. I'm using Mythic Dungeon tools to great effect. I learned a couple tricks about it that I didn't know. I learned some tricks today from the warrior about resetting that boss. I would expect that to maybe get fixed. I told the raid, I was like, I don't need this garbage necklace, right? I got mine from the weekly chest today. Like, mine's pimping. I don't need this. 2 something. I'm just gonna delete it. I'm not even gonna sell it. But the rogue says they need it, which is cool. It's stam though. I don't know what rogues are, what they take on their necklaces, but rogue says they want it. Rogue was the lead. Rogue did good skip, and I'm starting to like need a rogue on my routes. Like you saw that savings. That's just slick unless people don't mount. But this group's on it. They were on it. Rogues, you're coming on the work bringer routes for +10. Let me tell you, if I'm putting my own key, pushing my own 10, my own 11, rogue is welcome. I like it. See you on the next one.